रंग रसिया ओरे बिना लाग्यो ना है मोरा जिया रंग रसिया ओरे बिना लाग्यो ना है मोरा जिया तेरा दीवाना है सबसे बेगाना है तेरा दीवाना है सबसे बेगाना है तूने जिया पे कैसा जादू किया रंग रसिया ओरे बिना लाग्यो ना है मोरा जिया रंग रसिया तोरे बिना लाग्यो ना है मोरा जिया मुकरा मेरा चांद का टुकड़ा जो देखे खो जाए ऐसी मेरी मस्त जवानी सबका दिल बहकाए मेरा जोबन मेरे नखरे मेरी कोमल काया देख के मेरी कमर का झटका हर कोई गिर जाए तेरा दीवाना है सबसे बेगाना है तेरा दीवाना है सबसे बेगाना है तूने जिया पे कैसा जादू किया रंग रसिया ओरे बिना लाग्यो ना है मोरा जिया रंग रसिया ओरे बिना लाग्यो ना है मोरा जिया तेरा दीवाना है सबसे बेगाना है तेरा दीवाना है सबसे बेगाना है तूने जिया पे कैसा जादू किया रंग रसिया ओरे बिना लाग्यो ना है मोरा जिया रंग रसिया तोरे बिना लाग्यो ना है मोरा जिया
Ranjeev, my heart, a story about my true lover. Girl, you know that I love you, but I love up my daru too. Hey. My girl says she leaving, cause I only drinking. Pack up all she things and she leave and gone. My girl says she leaving, cause I only drinking. Pack up all she things and she leave and gone. I tell she come back home, cause I can't do this alone. It have something that I want you know that I love you, but love me daru too. You know that I love you, but love me daru too. I just only do and do, no matter what I can't please you. How you want me pick and choose when I love up me daru too. Hey, I love me daru. I love me daru. You know I love you, baby. The rum only secondary. But when you're acting crazy, 2 shots make me happy. No, I can't hide it no more. Oh, I'm telling you for sure. You want to be with me and Santa family. It have something that I want you know. You know that I love you, but love me daru too. You know that I love you, but love me daru too.
Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs. but not every man's greed. Buddha. Welcome to Get Real with Shameza. I'm your host, Shameza Ali, and it is truly a pleasure to be here with you this evening. Salam, namaste, and good evening to everyone joining us on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Tonight, we will be speaking to someone who is not a stranger at all to Get Real with Shamiza. He's been with us from day one, and he's still here with us today. We are excited to have him, and I'm sure most of you out there know who he is and what he has been doing in the music industry. As we speak to him, he will take us through his journey, a long journey that is, but nevertheless a very fruitful one. Before we do that, here is a message from our sponsors.
Kai Chu Restaurant has been serving our community for over 25 years. We offer an enticing selection of West Indian traditional dishes along with a fully stocked bar. Bring your family and friends to our newly renovated dining room to celebrate your special occasion or event with us. We do catering and we also deliver. Kai Chu has 2 locations to choose from. Support our community and eat local. Looking for something to get rid of that fine line wrinkles? Well, look no further. You can now indulge yourself with Truly Flawless. This one-of-a-kind, anti-aging caviar luxury face cream will give you that youthful-looking glow again. It's not only for you ladies, men can also benefit from this product too. Try it for yourself and see results within a week. Check out our website at www.trulyflawlessskincare.com and on Amazon Prime. We are also excited to launch our newest skincare products coming in March 2022.
Enos Driving School offers training for CDL licenses, including tractor-trailers, trucks, and school buses. Just think, with a CDL license, you can have access to thousands of driving jobs at large companies such as FedEx, UPS, MTA, or New York Sanitation. Enos Driving School also offers defensive driving courses and training classes for cars and motorcycles, all taught by their college-trained instructors who can even schedule your road test appointments. Inquire about other driving and training packages as well. You might even be qualified for their free CDL training, as they are a certified institution with the New York State Workforce One program. Call Enos Driving School today. They've been serving our community for over 10 years.
Sherry's Weakness for Sweetness is a family-owned and operated bakery with a West Indian flair. We specialized in custom cakes, decorative desserts, and a contemporary spin on traditional West Indian cuisine. We are located at 114-07 Jamaica Avenue. Hours of operations are Tuesday through Friday 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Memories should always be this sweet. Come visit us today.
All right, welcome back. And I want to say a special shout out to our sponsors tonight, Kaichor Restaurant, Mantra, Firefest. Thank you guys so much. And, we're here and we're excited. Our guest tonight, he has captured our hearts and with his beautiful voice. But more importantly, his contribution to music in our community is unparalleled. He has taught us that the right attitude and persistence, you can conquer anything. Please welcome to Get Real with Shamiza, Ranjeev from Din.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Good evening to
Congratulations.
you. Thank you, thank you, thank
Congratulations
you.
on your recent accomplishment. I know this is one that, you've been trying for a while, and,
Yes, yes,
it's
yes, yes,
not
for sure.
quite, we should have had different results, but nevertheless, it is something. And I'm grateful that you took the opportunity, you made the most out of it, you did your best, and here you are tonight. We're so proud of you.
Yes, for sure. I want to say, thank you. I'm sorry, one second.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry about that. But yeah, I want to say thank you, first of all, for recognizing those efforts, and thank you for having me tonight. It's really, really an honor and a privilege to be here. Um, in this light, having my own little show, I should say, right? So I trust me, I feel really good being here tonight. I feel good about everything that we're gonna talk about tonight.
Yes.
Um, and it's all positive things, and I can't wait to just share this with you guys.
All right. Well, I know all of this has been, it's not something that you just woke up yesterday and say, hey, I'm going to enter a CSM and, I'll give it a shot, see what happens. It was a lot of preparation. As a matter of fact, I think it's been quite some time now that you have been, prepping and putting a lot of effort into this whole thing. But not only that, you've been creating music for a while. You still look like you're in your early 20s, but I know you've been creating music for a while now for us. So tell us how it all started. What really
So,
inspired you to get started in music and to go through this journey with us?
so believe it or not, at a young, very, very young age, my mom, Esther John Ramdeen, took us to temple. Before I could probably even, um, before I could probably even talk properly, I was in temple. And my mom would always just encourage us to be around music, to be around drums, to be around singing, to be around all the things when it comes to music. So um, from there, one second. I'm sorry. Please bear with me one second.
Sure.
All right. I'm sorry about that. That's a little one.
I wanted to
So,
know what was happening there.
oh no, no, no. That was a little one. He's over here. Was kind of playing with the wires and stuff. So sorry about that.
It's okay.
It's Friday night, so they're expecting me to
Yeah.
be with them. So like I was saying, at a young age, my mom took us around all the elements of music and bought me the smallest little dolak ever and said, "Hey, this is yours. Do whatever you want with it." So doing whatever I wanted with it kind of meant just kind of knocking it.
Yeah.
But she saw that interest in me. She saw that want and need to learn to play the dolak.
Right.
Um, so she saw an ability and she acted on it. And I started now sitting next to the dolak player at Ramain and at Satsang or whatever we were at. And I started beating, and she saw that I was actually mimicking what I was seeing. And I started actually picking up the actual beats and the way to play it and the
Right.
actual movements of the hand. And before I know it, at 5 years old, I was able to play for her um, and actually hold proper timing. So I was born with the ability to time.
Hmm.
And it's a big thing when being a musician or a singer. The ability to time is core, right? It's the key to good music and to just being a good musician. You have to be able to time the music. So I always say my heart beats in time, my heart beats in rhythm, because one of my strong points in music is timing, and I think that all came from being before a singer, a drummer.
Right.
So so from then on, it just kind of, there was school, there was always prayers, there was always satsang. I never really sang. I would sing a bhajan here and there, but not really take it serious. And then probably around the age of 10, there's a competition in Trinidad called Children of Mastana Bahar,
Yes.
where they introduced it to now give the youths that were coming up
a chance to compete against each other versus the youths competing against the adults who were more experienced and who had, who had more years behind them of singing and music and all of that.
Yeah.
So I entered the competition for the first time in 1996, I believe it was. And believe it or not, I made it to the finals, to the grand finals, where I placed sixth. So that was kind of my introduction into like competing and music as such, singing with a band and all of that. I mean, before all of that, I used to go to my mom's concerts, and sit and watch her and pray and hope one day I can do what she did on stage, which was grace the people with her beautiful voice, but as well put smiles on their face like she did. Like,
Yeah.
you would see people close their eyes and smile, and I would, I would be there and I'd be like, wow, that's amazing that somebody's voice could actually do that, right?
Yeah.
um so we migrated to the US not long after the Children of Mastana competition, where now, obviously life began in the US. So it
Right.
was school, it was like serious temple. So I was back in temple 100% hardcore,
Right.
every Thursday, every Sunday. I felt like I was living in the temple. I mean, and then when we were not in temple, we were in satsangs, and ramines and different things, going to different temples. Um, then I joined. Well, school took over, and I entered a competition called a Kishore Kumar competition. It was at the Susan B. Anthony High School in Queens. I remember this clearly. And I competed against, I was the youngest, and I competed against some great Kishore Kumar singers. Like, I'm telling you, like, guys that still are around. And I just, again, I respect them so much because their voices were almost exact as Kishore Kumar. And
Wow.
believe it or not, Kishore Kumar is my favorite playback singer. Um, I've always enjoyed his music. I felt it wasn't too much classical, but it
Right.
wasn't. And I think it was more just normal for me. It was more for me to, I could understand it more, because when you get into the classical aspect of things, there's vocally people do things that are just shouldn't be done, but they shouldn't be able to be, to be sung, and they do it. Um so I understood the more normal level of singing, and that really captivated me, with Kishore Kumar. So Susan B. Anthony High School, I entered the competition. I went against all these great Kishore Kumar singers. I ended up, think I came second or third in that competition amongst all these guys. um and at that point, the band that backed them up asked me to be a part of their band, their group.
Oh,
So yeah, so I started like gigging with them and doing things here and there. um but then, school, and I joined the military, US military. I joined the
yes.
Navy in 2001. And then music went out the door, boot camp went in the door, and then deployments and Afghanistan, and then Iraq, and then back to Iraq. And it was just on and on and on and on. And believe it or not, through those 6 years or 5 years of being in the Navy, being on the ship, the only thing that kept me sane was music. I would
Music.
sing to myself. I would listen to my music in my rack, as they call it, myself. Um, it was just, it really kept me grounded. It kept me from giving up hope on the war ending. It was a lot. Emotionally, it did a lot for me. Um, and I always say that music saved my life, because it really, really saved my life. Because my sanity is my life, right? If you're going mad, you just,
Yeah.
what's the point? But it really, really kept me sane and kept me grounded. And for that, I'm grateful to music. And obviously, by extension, I'm grateful to my parents for allowing me to be a part of such a beautiful art form,
Right.
um, and and be a part of my culture as much as they did. Because too often you see where in youth nowadays the culture is lost, and I'm happy I wasn't one of those kids, you know, that just because I'm in the military, just forget music and just keep going about, you know, living life and doing things the American way.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got out of the military. I took a year off, started getting back into the singing a little bit with the same band. Um, and then I went back into the military again, joining the National Guard. So I had to go away for another 6 months to boot camp for the second time. And again, the only thing that kept me sane was music. Yeah, right. So I spent about 6 months in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, where I trained, and then I came back, and I was lucky enough to get a duty station, which is my home station right here in Jamaica, Queens. So it worked out
Oh,
perfectly for me.
right.
And um, once I came back and I was around, you know, I touched base again with the band and I started singing with them. So now um, I was kind of getting more experience vocally by singing to myself, and I was practicing and I was doing things. So when I came back, I was able to do now things vocally that I wasn't able to do and I kind of kicked it off with the band, and then we started doing weddings and parties, and we started traveling to Toronto, and we started going here and going there. So I started experiencing my first trip to Guyana ever was with this band, and it was three like so or 3 or 4 sold out shows, and it was just like, wow, what is this? Like, I've never experienced anything like this. I mean, I'm talking about like thousands and thousands of
Some
people.
people.
I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, I don't know if you have ever been to one of the bigger shows at the National Stadium, but
Yeah.
that kind of attendance I'm talking about, like huge amounts of people, and so that was my taste of like big stage, um,
At a young
and
age.
at a young age, like you know, it was something that a lot of us dreamt, like we dream for now that we can't get, but
Right.
I did it in my early 20s, you know.
Mhm.
And I'm grateful for all the experiences I have had with that band. um I've since then obviously moved on to my own solo career,
Mhm.
which in about 12 years ago, 2010, I actually sang my first chutney song ever. And it was written by Dolly Boy out of Toronto. And it was called Pass My Glass, produced by Big Rich. Um, and it was just something that I was like, maybe I could try this, you know, and see
Yeah.
how it goes and see if I could make it. And I actually entered Chutney Soca Monarch. I don't know if anybody watched my live performance, but I did mention um when I was speaking during my performance that 12 years ago I entered, and
Yeah.
12
I
years
I
later I'm
I
finally
saw that.
right.
That's how I know about it.
So it was the truth. It wasn't a story that I made up to say on stage. It was actually the truth. 12 years ago I entered, and 12 years later was the first time I've stepped foot on a grand finals stage, which was a huge accomplishment. And like you said earlier, a very, very long road,
Yeah.
a long road of ups and lots of downs. Um, that groomed me into being humble, to being um, the better, like a better person, and also groomed me into being the artist that I am today. You know, um, go ahead.
No, I have to say the artist that you are today, very disciplined, very humble, like you mentioned, and a lot of knowledge and experience.
Thank you. It is. I would say the knowledge part of it. I've learned so much about this industry, about people, just about everything in general when it comes to music. I actually learned how not so talented I am as well, because I've met so much great singers and musicians, and I was like, wait, I haven't even scratched the surface of music yet. You know, I didn't
Yeah.
even. I like music is it's such a wide range of things. Like, it just trust me, it's a never ending like fountain of knowledge, like so much of music, so there's so much to learn from music, you know, and about music. So
Well, I think what it is, it's important to also stress how important to keep, enhancing your own abilities, because we all think we're good at something when we try it, right? Because that's our
Right.
passion.
Right.
But as we grow, if we really put the time into things, we learn and we get better.
Yeah.
It's a shame when people think that they're so good they don't need to learn anymore. They're so talented, or this is the point I stop because I'm so good. I feel you
Right.
have to keep learning, and you have to keep reinventing,
Of
right?
course.
One type of music is not always going to do it for you.
Yeah.
You have to try to put some difference in it as well. I do see your mom is watching us, and she says that's my precious gem that I was entrusted with his in
Oh,
this lifetime. Very, very deep words indeed for your
yes.
mom to say. And I think you have other family members that says like mommy is watching, and we have quite a few of your fans watching here. Kishan is on. Good night to you, Kishan.
Nice.
Amanda, good night to you. I feel no matter what it is, Ranjeev, there is a special place in your fans' heart for you. No matter who comes and goes along, there's people who are very, very dedicated to you, and they trust your music, they believe in you. What do you say to those fans that was there? I remember there's a specific person that's watching us right now, and she said a few of the people that made it to the finals is actually family members, but Ranjeev is our guy. And that
Yeah.
touched me because it was nice to hear that.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, before we move forward, I mean, Wednesday was my mom's birthday, so I want to take this opportunity to
Happy
on air to wish
birthday.
her happy birthday, mommy.
You
We
want to
love
sing a
you.
happy birthday to
Yeah.
her?
I will. I will. I will. In the second segment, if we have one of those.
Okay.
But yeah, I met some people at Temple on Wednesday when I went for my mom's birthday, and that was the case. One of them came up to me and was like, you know, those people are my family, but I voted for you. And I was like, no way. I was like, you know what? I really appreciate that. Um, and I felt kind of bad, but I felt good too, because it was like, you know, you support your family, yes, but you also support your favorite, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope the votes were shared as well. um but I'm being modest. I'm glad you vote for me and not anybody else.
Of
To be
course.
honest, no. But yeah, to the people that have always supported me and really believed in my music, and watched me grow as an artist, I am forever indebted and grateful to you guys, because it's because of this. Maybe I may not have the biggest fan base, but because of this small fan base, this very unique fan base, I should say, not even small, but this unique fan base that I have, um, I am who I am today, and it makes me continue doing what I do for music and my community.
Mhm.
Um, because mainly of what we do is for culture, community, and flying that flag as high as possible, so that we're not ridiculed or laughed at, or like, where's that, kind of thing. So we really try our hardest to put forth our best foot, and like my good brother always says, the best version of ourselves, Anil Mr. Dunya. That's his favorite line, and I
Yeah.
always steal it from him, because I think it's a brilliant line, and it really defines who we are and what we try to do. We just try to give you the best versions of ourselves, genuinely, not fake, right? But
Okay.
genuinely, we give you the best versions of ourselves.
Now, I remember when the semifinals was announced, and there were three of you guys from New
Yes,
York that
yes,
made it to the semifinals, and I felt like here you are making it to the semifinals, and you didn't take that time to really focus on only you, but here you are helping and getting these guys prepared, and helping them with videos and all these things. And I,
yep,
I see you as that figure that everyone can look up to. Prince JP,
right.
Damien, these guys really do look up to you. And you have, no matter who it was, I feel like you always look out for these guys.
I do. I always do, and specifically with the semifinals this year and last year. Last year I didn't enter, but I produced the show here in New York virtually
Remember?
because it was completely virtual. There was no flying to Trinidad like we did this year. But last year, these guys would tell you that we made sure that they felt like they were on a semifinal stage and a grand final stage. We tried our best to mimic. We tried our best to use the resources that we had with the funding that we had, which was very minimal. But we tried our best, and I had conversations separately with both guys, and I gave them my encouragement at the rehearsals. I gave them my current encouragement at the actual day of recording, and I told them, just go out there, be yourself, do what you got to do, represent to the fullest. And it's same thing this year. Even though I was competing, I let them all go first. I made sure that they all did their best, and to their best ability. I made sure they were comfortable before they recorded, and gave them the pep talk. Just go out there, have fun. I
Yeah.
did that, and then I took on the. Then after taking on everybody else's stress and making sure that they did, I had to go now and do my thing, and represent me now, Ranjeev, not the production that I was doing. It was now about me. So they know that I'm always supportive of anything that they do, genuinely again. And I say that I say that word a lot, genuinely, because there's a lot of pats on your back, but it's really not the way it's supposed to be. It's really not in good intentions. It's the fake front, but it's okay. We live, we learn.
Now, speaking of genuineness and speaking of CSM, you were placed fourth
Hmm.
in the CSM.
Yes.
Now, with your knowledge of the event, your experience with it, do you feel, and being there that night in person, all the performances, and you will be the first one to say, hey, this person was really, really good, right? I know how you are.
Yeah.
Do you feel fourth place was a fair place to be?
Honestly, when I look back at the performances, I believe third place would have been fair for me. I feel like fourth is okay, but that nudge, just one up, would have really, really sit much more comfortable with me than the fourth. Although I accepted the fourth, and I understood, um, there were so many things happening. There were so many technical difficulties that we went through. There was so many things to put into place prior to the competition, and prior to just walking out to sing my song. Um, I understood that I may have lost points for certain things, and that's okay. Um, but for fourth place, a first time finalist,
Yes.
being from out of the country, being a resident of another country, coming into the grand finals and placing fourth, that's exceptionally well for me. I am more than happy. But could I take third or second? I would take it if I could. Um,
30 seconds.
yeah, third or second. And the reason why I say that, and I want to be honest with myself, right? And I've always preached that, one, you have to be honest with yourself, and two, the people around you have to be honest with you as well.
Yeah.
Um, because it breeds that not so genuine attitude in somebody when people are not true to their circle. So my circle of guys, if I say something or sing something, they will tell me, hey, don't ever sing that again or sing it again. And they'll be real with me. And that's what you need in your circle. That's what you need around you, is honest truth. Not to tell you, yeah, boy, that song real nice. Keep going and sing it. Yeah, go sing, sing, sing. And then in the back end, everybody laughing at you. It's not
Right.
cool. So it starts at home, right? With
Mhm.
the people that you rub shoulders with all the time, and your team. So everything I did was cleared by the team, um and it had to make sense. We wasn't going out there to not make sense. So could I have done things differently? Yeah, I wish I had done a couple things differently, but it's a lesson learned for me. Fourth place, first time finalist. Again, I'm gonna say it. exceptionally well, and I wouldn't change it, even if I had the chance to. I'll just leave it as is, because I want to be able to show the world and to show the industry and to show my culture and to show the people that are paying attention now, because they
Mhm.
weren't paying attention before, but now they're paying attention because they realize. And I was told by sorry sorry about that, but I was told by a very good source that going into the semis I was in 12th place, right? I
Mhm.
was ranked 12 going into the semis. So,
There were
so
14 people.
right, so exactly. Well, in the semis it was 15, right? 15
Right.
people that went forward. So out of the 15, I was ranked number 12, right? Based on their votes and their charts and just everything that they were looking at, right? So I was ranked 12, which okay, I understood. But going from 12 to 4 is
Is
a
huge.
big jump. It's
Yeah.
a big jump. And again, that's a win for me. That's a win for the culture. That's a win for all the artists that live outside of New York, outside of Trinidad. That's
Yes.
that's huge, because one, I don't ever remember an artist from outside of Trinidad um accomplishing something so quick um in just one finals. I think it took some time. But I don't know if it even ever happened. That's another thing too, right? So I have to kind of do my homework and figure that out. But yeah, so it's a big accomplishment. And and again, the people that weren't paying attention, they're paying attention now for sure. I promise you that.
So now here we are, right?
Yep.
We've you've been through a few months preparing, and like you said, people were not paying attention.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about the things that you had no control over. You had control over your voice, the choice of song,
Mhm.
the little details. But the things that you didn't have control over were things like the preparation there in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
um the whole thing, there are several people who I've overheard say things like there was so much time between the performances, the lighting you couldn't get correctly, there were so many little technical difficulties,
Yeah.
and with everything, right? But we're speaking of years and years of CSM.
Yeah.
Do you think there is more that can be done in terms of getting you guys there, keeping you focused on what you need to do by having a little bit more preparation and thoughts put into the whole technical side of things?
So yeah. I no. What I have to what I would say is that the last two CSMs is not a normal CSM. The normal CSM, everything's open, big stage. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. There's no limitations. You're not bound to the rules of a venue, um, fireworks, lighting, whatever. As long as you're paying for it, you're getting it, right? In other words, so specifically this location, there was so many rules set in place. You couldn't do this, you couldn't have so many people inside, you could have more than 20 people. It was so much there was so much rules to juggle for the venue that it was just it was tough to try to juggle the rules of the venue, the rules of the competition, and keep your head so focused, because I remember standing side of the stage right after they called my name, and I'm looking at my screen, my background screen, and I'm saying, it's playing, the audio is working, but the damn curtain's down, so nobody's seeing it.
Exactly.
So then I was like, so I'm now having the mic in my hand. The girls are starting. The intro is going, and I'm turning around, and I was like, "The curtains are closed. The curtains are closed." And I'm saying that, and I'm literally 5 seconds away from walking onto stage, right? So I'm doing this,
Yeah.
and now in the midst of that, they start my key. They start my my initial key, for me to start my alap, as we call it, to come on, and there was a little pause because I was so flustered that I didn't it's not that I forgot it. It's just I needed to just calm down for a second because I got really upset. So I need to calm down for a second. So there was like about maybe like a 10 to 15 second span where there was some silence, and then the girls started walking out, and then you see me catch up to the girls. So that was me trying to collect myself and get back to the job at hand, which was going out there and delivering my song. So
Right.
that was just round one of problems.
Hmm.
And I went out there, the song started, and then round two of problems started. There was no communication. The communication lines went down between the front of house, which is at the front of the stage, all the way to the back, and then the stage guy. So they didn't know when to shoot off the sparks. They didn't know when to change the video. It was just, and it goes on and on and on and on. But with the years of experience, again, and being around so many different issues that has happened in bigger productions than this, I was able to just kind of like, you know what, it is what it is at this point. Just time to just continue singing, just sing my song, do what I got to do, and come off the people's stage. You know what I mean? That was it. So
Here you are. You gave it your best, right?
yes,
But despite whatever was going on, you gave it your best. You dealt with everything and you still managed to send a little message. Let's
I
talk about a
did.
little message that you sent
I
out.
sent two messages that night.
Let's talk about those messages. For
So the first,
anyone who's watching that didn't hear those messages, can you repeat yourself?
I would have liked to play those messages for you, but
It would have been
anyway.
nice to play those messages.
But anyway, so the first message that I delivered that night was that it took me 12 years, you know, to get to a grand final stage. In those 12 years, um, actually, no, I'm moving too fast. But in those 12 years, I've dreamt of being on a grand final stage.
Right.
And what I did, I said to the youths and to people who have hopes and dreams out there, don't ever give up, no matter
Yes.
how long it takes. It takes 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, or 12 years in my case. Just keep pushing because I was, that night I was living testimony that dreams do come true, which was a fact, again, and all genuine. I've always dreamt it. You could ask my counterparts, KI and, Ravi and Vikash and all these guys who I talked to over the last so many years. That final stage was always a stage that I wanted to be on. And 12 years later, after pushing and working hard, I'm there.
Mhm.
So that was my first message. To my second message was, I've learned so much over the last 12 years in Chutney Soka Monarch, right?
Yes.
So there's different aspects of Chutney Soka Monarch that are very unconventional but accepted, and people know that this is a part of Chutney Soka Monarch, right? Which is one of them specifically that I used that night that I've learned is called Pekong. So in Kaiso, if you listen to Kaiso music, they take stabs at each other in Kaiso music. They take stabs at government. They take stabs at political parties.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you know what I'm saying. They call it
Yeah.
Kaiso tent, right?
Yes.
So it's a very almost similar. It's almost exact thing like that, but it's called Pekong in the chutney world, right?
Yes.
So in the chutney world, so you always pick somebody that you take a stab at. Right, so I picked Mr. 4x4, Mr. Kenneth Salek. Big up to him, by the way, on one of the biggest chutney songs in the world right now. So
Yeah.
hats off to Kenneth Salek. And I mean, keep pushing, brother. I know you wasn't well, and I know that you really wanted to win that competition. But hats off to you. Keep doing your thing, man, and you have our support, regardless of the Pekong. It was all fun. So anyway, that's my disclaimer. But I did say, I did dedicate my Pekong to the 4x4 man. And if you would let me, I would
I will let you.
you would let me?
Yes, please go ahead.
All right. I'll make it nice and pretty. Put a little echo. You hearing that? All right. Big up to Rick George. He
Yeah.
already know it coming. So the song went like this. The peacock went like this.
Like this, right?
Like this. He claimed that he got leave him cause of what he driving. There's more to that story than a 4x4 van. Don't try to understand all the other versions. I take a plane to tell all you the truth. Can I think he winning all? But I hear he wagon small. Okay, I'm not gonna, you know,
Mom is watching.
mommy watching.
Yes.
Mommy
We'll,
watching,
we'll
mommy
leave
watching.
we'll leave the rest of it. People can figure that out. But
Yeah. But
I
yeah,
I
but it's
thought
called
that was,
peacock, right?
yeah. And I remember before I think it was even announced that you were in the finals. We had a conversation. You were actually over and
Yeah.
we were talking about it, and you said you wanted to do this, and I was so happy when I saw it. I
Yeah.
was
I,
like,
I
yeah,
really debated doing it up until the day of the competition. I
yeah,
really debated. I didn't know. It's because again, my first finals, it's this whole thing is so new to me beyond the semis, right? So I was comfortable up until the semifinal round, but anything beyond that, the planning, the preparation, the everything that has to happen on the night of the competition was my first, was all new to me.
right,
Even though I did it with my friends and my counterparts, I wasn't doing it personally. So
yeah,
just like the military, and I always tell everybody, always ask, so how it was over there, boy? Well,
yeah,
honestly, there's no way for me to explain it, man. Honestly, you just have to experience that in order for you to really understand what servicemen and women go through. And
yeah,
likewise, you have to really be in the competition and and a contestant that night to understand that feeling, to understand the nerves, the different levels of emotion, the roller coasters that you go through mentally. Trust me, it really tries you as an artist. And sometimes you ask yourself, is it worth it?
yeah.
Is it worth it? So
Well, I'll ask the question, but
sure.
first, here is a message from our sponsors. Think about the answer. We'll be right back.
All right.
Hibiscus has been a flagship restaurant in our community for a very long time. Come dine with us and enjoy our excellent food, drinks and service at any one of our many locations. We are located on 12418 101 Avenue and 22113 Jamaica Avenue. Hibiscus at Elliott's on the Mile in Freeport is one of our newest locations, along with 12402 Rockaway Boulevard. In Guyana at 91 Middle Street, Georgetown. Bring your family and friends and come visit us soon.
M&R Fire Fest is one of the newest hotspots in Richmond Hill. If you're looking to have a fun time or just chill, this lounge is the place to be. We celebrate all occasions and our live entertainment and drink specials are amazing. We are located at 13123 Liberty Avenue. Come check us out and see what everyone is talking about.
Mandy's Cake Creations, serving traditional rum black cake with almond paste and royal icing. Non-alcoholic is also an option. Catering is available. Personalize your cakes and boxed favors for your birthday, engagements, weddings, work events and more. Shipping is also available within the United States. Please contact Mandy at 917-294-3500 on Instagram Mandy Cake Creations and on Facebook Amanda Khan. Mandy's Cakes, a taste to bring you back home. Flamingo Restaurant and Mantra Lounge. We are NYC's premier Caribbean restaurant and lounge, specializing in authentic West Indian, Chinese and Caribbean cuisine. Open every day for lunch and late nights. For delivery, find us on Uber Eats, Grubhub, Seamless and DoorDash. Visit our rooftop lounge upstairs on the weekends for a fun-filled night. We cater and take bookings for private events. Find us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Flamingo Mantra. Our address is 120-06 Rockaway Boulevard, telephone 7188351000.
All right, we are back. Ranjeev, you ready to answer that question?
Yeah. Can you repeat it one more time, please?
I was going to ask you what was the question again, but I think the question was the whole experience, everything that you've been through, right? That's what we were discussing.
Yep.
Um, was there anything there that you, not that you think you could do differently, was it all worth it?
It was definitely worth it.
It's definitely.
Again, it was 12 years in the making for me to be on that stage. And it was definitely worth it. All the years of sacrificing and, you know, just being a part of somebody else's grand finals and to be on a team helping somebody else perform on a grand final stage, supporting my friends really paid off because it gave me a lot of knowledge that I needed that night, on how to speak, how to command the crowd, how to do my lows, how to dance, or how to interact, or whatever the case is. It really, really just all summed up in one night. Like 12 years, just everything happened in one night.
Maybe 5 7 minutes of it all coming together, and there you are
Six
on the
minutes.
stage and it's all happening,
Yeah.
emotions, different types of emotion just flowing in, and you having all of that happening, you have to still perform knowing that you're being judged.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, believe it or not, that was one of the nights that I was probably the most comfortable on stage ever.
Yeah.
And I was saying this to Mr. Singh, Mr. George Singh. I was actually speaking to him a couple days ago, and I was like, I was so I was shocked that I was so comfortable on stage. Because I remember in the past when I get nervous, and when our artists get nervous, their voice shake, right? So you
Yeah.
get a lot of you hear the nervousness in their voice. But that night, I didn't have a slip up in the things that I say, like that I said. I really just, not that I memorized it. It just everything just flowed so well that night, um, that I believe, and I strongly believe that for those 12 years, everything that I've learned really, really just kind of paid off for sure. There's
And it
there's
all
no doubt about it. Yeah, I was so
all came
comfortable.
together in that moment. That was the moment that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were, that's what was meant to be, right?
for
Everything
sure.
has its time. I think that was the time for you.
Yeah,
Again, I've watched that performance a few times and I have to say you delivered.
thank
And
you.
there is some politics behind there, but we're not even going to get into that. Let's go now to this whole thing. Throughout the conversation tonight, I heard the word genuine quite often. And we wouldn't be real or we wouldn't be genuine sitting here speaking
Right.
without acknowledging that there has been, and I think just like elections in most country, at election time you feel a division among your people.
Mm,
And this CSM and Guyana having theirs at the same time, there is no difference at the moment. It's starting to calm down a little bit, but I have seen the little bit of little words that's not being said, but's being said,
yeah.
the little comments here and there among our people, which is Trinidadians and Guyanese, right? And
Right.
there is no
Right.
secret. For
Right.
years now, our history has been about that. And you just like we try our best to keep people, keep the community together because we live with each other every single day. Our
Yeah.
history is used with our people. And I only feel it's important for us to continue that. But tell me, what are you feeling? How are we supposed to address this and really get it behind us? Because it's not helping our situation.
Okay. So believe it or not, the competition is the competition. I've seen it for years where that for 364 days out of the year, these contestants are friends. Maybe some, maybe not. Maybe some of them are not, but for the most part, they're all friends. But for that one day or a few days leading up to the competition,
Mhm.
nobody likes each other. It's a war. It's an all-out war for the chutney monarch, and I just can't be that way, right? So if I'm not gonna say something good, I'm not gonna say anything at all. And what I did this year, and I'll tell you specifically me, I went silent until the week of the competition. And when I went silent, nobody heard anything about Chutney Monarch. Maybe I posted the flyer about the grand finals, but there was no the next Chutney Monarch, vote for me, this, I come to take the competition. There was none of that. I went completely silent and let everybody kind of calm down from the semis. And then that Monday of the competition, the Monday before the competition, I started promoting. And when I said promoting, I was promoting me. This is my, this is my, this is my text code. Start texting for me on this day at this time. The journey begins. And that's all I did. I kept it about me. It wasn't about the monarch. It wasn't about, it wasn't about winning the monarch. It was about getting the job done at the monarch. It was about the journey. It was about the preparations, but it was also, it was just neutral. It was just about me. I don't believe in going after or saying anything about the other the competitors prior to the competition, because you never know what could happen, right? Now, even if you have the biggest song in the world, and we could see it happen on this competition, big
See it
songs don't
happen
win
year after
competitions.
year.
Year after year, big songs don't win competitions.
Mhm.
And we say that proudly, and I say that 100% of the time, and I know for a fact, big songs do not win competitions. Big songs don't even come forth. I came
Uh,
forth.
Speaking of songs, your
Mm-hmm.
choice of song.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard the song the very first time, I remember you sent it to me, and I
Yeah.
heard it. It was not even out at that time, and I said, this is so not you. This is so
Yeah.
different from what you normally do. I remember saying that to you.
Yeah.
And you said, "Hey, I did it. I want it to be, whatever it was." And we spoke about it, but that song is a song you entered a competition with. I Love Daru.
Yeah. Yeah.
That song has been, it has its own merch. I've been at places where we had people not even meeting you
Right.
before had your t-shirt on. And
Right.
I remember saying to the guy, nice t-shirt. And later that night you walked in and I go, hey, you have fans over there. You go, where? And I took you over to meet the guy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was so happy to finally see you, right? So you have, is it like, I know you said it's an army or your soldiers, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Love Daru became a movement. And did you see that happening? Was that your vision for I Love Daru?
Honestly, the marketing strategies behind I Love Daru was literally on a whim. It was like, okay, so we need to market. Let's sit and plan how to market. And when we were designing the flyer of the song prior to releasing the song, when I said I Love Daru, all I could picture is the I Love New York thing that's so popular and very recognizable by the average person that walks the street, right?
Yeah,
So why not a copy, but why not tailor something that's very familiar, right? And just a splicing there. This is why a lot of songs do so well. Specifically, a drinker by Robbie Beal. I'll draw that.
mhm,
Specifically, um, there's quite a few other. Anyway, but specifically, let me say a drinker, right?
yeah,
Because it was a familiar melody to the ear. It was a song that people really loved, an old song that people really loved, and now the spin on it was the girl, I was a drinker, right? So
exactly.
so it creates this new breath of fresh air to an old song
Yeah,
that people could also have fun with, sing, laugh. There's comical aspects of it. Just as in Daru, it was a very familiar melody to the ear. It speaks about loving your counterpart or your spouse, but making sure that they understand, that I love you, but I love Madaru too. So
exactly.
so my song, as much as it was yes a rum song, I call it a decent rum song. You know,
Decent rum song for
a
sure.
decent rum
I,
song.
I, I could agree with you more. Now, That night, one thing that was quite obvious about you too, and a little bit different from Ranjeev, a t-shirt kind of guy, right? Humble guy
Mhm.
with a t-shirt.
Mm,
Your outfit,
yes.
it was fit for a king. That's how I see it. I mean,
Ah,
I saw it and I said, just like, in a Miss Universe competition, you see the girl with the dress and you say, she will be the queen, right? I
right.
saw you in that outfit and I said, he is the king.
Yes, yes.
Tell us about the outfit,
So the outfit, I up until the week before I even went to the competition, it was actually 1 week prior to the competition. I had no idea what I was wearing. I kept going back and forth. I want to do this. I want to wear this. I want to work it this way. And I bought like 4 different outfits and returned all prior to going to Trinidad. Then I got on the phone with KI. And he was like, bro, it's time to play dress up, right? I was like, what do you mean it's time to play dress up? He said, this is the time when you wear the things you don't wear on a regular street.
right?
And I was like, okay. I was like, what does that mean? He was like, look at my past outfits. Look at some of the King's past outfits, Ricky Jai and Rupalal and Ravi and everybody. Look at their outfits. Look at how they approached their outfits. Look at how they looked on stage. So I did my homework. I went back and I looked. And he was like, okay, so now that you've looked, you're ready to play dress up? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So he put me on to a friend of ours that I totally overlooked because there was so much happening. I completely overlooked him. His name is Ryan Chan. He's a designer. He does a lot of designing for carnival costumes and things like that. And I called him up and I was like, Ryan, I have a mission for you. 1 week away. I said, I have a mission for you 1 week away from the competition. I need an outfit. So he was like, wait, boy, you wait so long. And I was like, yeah, yeah, trust me. Just, I don't want to hear how long I wait. Just make it happen. So
Yeah.
Ryan said, okay, I'm going to send you some options. You tell me what you like. So, in the mean, while I was waiting, I was talking to my dance choreographer, which is Michael Salakram and the Shiv Shakti, the ZTV Shiv Shakti dance group. Um, and they're world renowned, and I've worked with them in the past in the semifinals. So he had his idea. Michael Salagram had his idea of what he wanted me to look like, and everything I picked was just kind of, maybe no. Until Ryan had sent me a picture of an outfit, and when I sent it to my dance choreographer, he was like, "Yes, that is it." And when you're done, I'm keeping it in Trinidad. And I was like, okay. So at that point, once he said he was going to keep it, I was like, okay, so this is the outfit. So Ryan told me, measure yourself and send it to me. I was like, wait, what? I never even measure. I don't know how to measure. He's like, okay, what's your pant size? I was like, this. He's like, okay, what's your shoulder length or what's your chest length? And I was like, so watch me using a measuring tape that he just cut do carpentry with and measuring myself, had my wife measuring myself and measuring my arms. And I sent those measurements to him, believe it or not. And he started working on it. I didn't talk back to him until the Thursday I landed in Trinidad. I spoke to him. I was supposed to go to see him, but I couldn't. So I went on Friday. When I went on Friday and I looked at the outfit, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm about to wear this because I've never worn anything like this, right? I really truly felt like I was this big celebrity, like
Yeah.
this big important person. And I was like, wow. So I tried it on, and believe it or not, my measurements was perfect. Like it fit perfect. So
That tape did a good job. Your wife did
yeah,
a
yeah,
good
yeah.
job. So amazing. And he did a very good job because did he keep it in Trinidad?
No, I have it. I just
You have
actually hung it up today.
it. Now, Ranji, I think this is the part you do some singing for us. I think a lot of people are just waiting here. Mom is watching. She's just,
Sure.
we have to hear your voice.
All right. I mean, listen, I don't know what
Let's go with you. You said Kishore Kumar has always been one of your favorite. Give us one of your best favorite Kishore Kumar song.
hmm, okay. Let's see how we could make that happen here. Um let's see.
Think about it and maybe give us something else in the meantime.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you one of my first Kishore Kumar song I've ever sang in my life. This was in Children of Mastana when I first entered. Um, when I first entered the competition. So we're gonna do this one. You might let me just mute this so that we don't hear anything. Okay, 1 second. Let me turn up my special sauce here. All right, tell me.
ये क्या हुआ कैसे हुआ कब हुआ अब क्या सुनाए ये क्या हुआ कैसे हुआ कब हुआ क्यों हुआ जब हुआ तब हुआ ओ छोड़ो ये न सोचो ये क्या हुआ कैसे हुआ कब हुआ क्यों हुआ जब हुआ तब हुआ ओ छोड़ो ये न सोचो ये क्या हुआ
Is it nice and clear?
Right. Very, very good.
हम क्यों शिकवा कर जूता या हुआ जो दिल टूटा हम क्यों शिकवा कर जूता या हुआ जो दिल टूटा शीशे का खिलौना था कुछ ना कुछ तो होना था हुआ ये क्या हुआ ऐसे हुआ कब हुआ क्यों हुआ जब हुआ कब हुआ वो छोड़ो ये न सोचो ये क्या हुआ
Wow. That,
Thanks.
that was just. You should do more of these songs, Ranjeev.
I
You
do, I
sound
do.
really good.
Listen, I love my film and I love my Bollywood music. That's where my heart is. That's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
But can I tell you something that I didn't start getting singing work, and I'm saying it like this until I start singing chutney, and then then people kind of paid attention, and then they realized I could sing both genres. I could sing chutney soca and I could sing Bollywood. Um, but um, but I enjoy singing Bollywood. I think it touches the heart. Bollywood music touches the heart in a different way. It tugs on the heartstrings in a whole different way that it's very hard to explain. Very hard to explain.
You know, Ranjeev, it was about a year ago that we were sitting. We were on the phone speaking, and I said to you, Ranjeev, I'm going to be doing this show. And, we talked about all the little details, especially the music aspect of things. And I
Yeah.
said to you, I've done my homework, I've seen what else is out there, and I refuse to play some videos. And you said WithShameeza music is universal. It touches everyone. We have to have music in this show.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
said to you, Ranjeev, do you remember what I said to you?
Remind me now. I
I
trust me.
said,
You've said a lot to me
if we're
in
gonna have
those.
music, let's have real people sing real music.
Of course.
I
Of
said,
course.
let's use our talents, right? We have a lot of talents in the community. Let's use those talents. Why waste? Give them an opportunity too, right?
Of course.
Now, I don't think you and I at that time saw the show going where it did in terms of talents and having different people on the show. But
For
I
sure.
remember you said, "Listen, I'll sing," and you did our Mother's Day show, which the show hadn't
Yes.
even started. This was a pre-show. You sang, and I think that took things to a whole different level, right? You sang. You were just releasing that song, actually.
Was it
Uh,
Bemahi?
yes,
Okay.
it was
Hmm.
Mother's Day. You were releasing that song, and it took off from there. Our first show, we had Randy Reckless,
Right.
and we just had all of these guys, and it just from there, we just that's how it started. You and I
Yeah.
having a simple conversation that,
For sure.
I was like, I'm not dealing with those music videos. It's so tacky, man.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
You encouraged me.
It's good to play the music videos, but also have the people that created the music videos, like,
Yeah,
they're, talk about it like we've done in the past. We've talked to many artists and played their videos, like giving a little piece of their music video, just like you did with my music video at the beginning of
mhm,
session.
yeah.
So I mean, it's good. It's good
We
to
do
have.
it. We play it for almost everyone that
Right.
we have on the show, as long as they have music videos that's out there. We play it, which almost everyone does. I do see Shariza saying that since Holy is coming up, Rangrasia will be the song for it, not so Ranji.
Oh.
So I think she'll be
Shariza. And I want to say hello to Shariza. She's been a really great support system,
yes,
as well as Malini, as well as Lyra. They've been so supportive through this whole process, and for as long as I can remember, since they came in contact with me or sent me a message and say, hey, we really like your music. Um, but they've really, I have some really diehard friends out there that really, really just supported me for through this whole process, and they have their favorite as well.
yeah,
Um, and I appreciate their support. But since you want to hear it, you want to do it.
yeah. Go
Let's
ahead.
see let's see what's going on here. Tell me, right? So this one is for Shariza. That's everybody who like this song. It's a big song.
रंग रसिया रंग रसिया तोरे बिना लाग्यो नाही मोरा जिया रंग रसिया तोरे बिना लाग्यो नाही मोरा जिया तेरा दीवाना है सबसे बेगाना है तेरा दीवाना है सबसे बेगाना है तूने जिया पे ऐसा रंग रसिया तोरे बिना लाग्यो नाही मोरा जिया रंग रसिया तोरे बिना लाग्यो नाही मोरा जिया बुकरा मेरा चांद का टुकड़ा जो देखे तो जाए ऐसी मेरी मस्त जवानी सबका दिल बहकाए मेरा जोबन मेरी नखरे मेरे कोमल देख मेरी कमर की झटका हर कोई गिरे तेरा दीवाना है सबसे बेगाना है तेरा दीवाना है सबसे बेगाना तूने जिया पे ऐसा जादू किया रंग रसिया तोरे बिना लाग्यो नाही मोरा जिया रंग रसिया तोरे बिना लाग्यो नाही मोरा जिया
Wow, you're on fire tonight, boy. You got like everything go. Your voice is so good tonight. I mean, your voice is always on, but I hear that there is no you're doing it effortless. There is no effort putting in. You're just natural tonight. I think you're more relaxed. You have that confidence that you get
Yeah.
entering a right. So now there's nothing really there that you've done it all.
Yeah.
There's a
I would say,
confidence in you that
yeah.
you're a new person right now.
So the confidence level is definitely out the roof, but also in a humble zone as well,
Yes.
right? And
Right.
it's important that we make note of that. So
Of
my
course.
confidence is high, and it's okay to be highly confident about what you do, because
Mhm.
it makes me a better artist or a better singer. but it
Right.
also reminds me that I still have a lot of work to do too, because I didn't come first, I came fourth. Right? So even though the confidence level is high that I dominated my performance, and I continue to dominate stages, no matter, even before the competition I dominated stages, I still understand that there's a lot of work to be done
Yeah.
and to continue
Yeah.
doing.
Agreed. Uh, with that said, Ranjeev, tonight was a special because I think it's important, right? A lot of us go through journey in life, right? For you, it's a
Yes,
special thing because of the journey, right? It wasn't something that
correct.
you woke up, like I said in the beginning, and just decided, hey, I'm going to enter this competition and I feel like I should, be getting somewhere. You put a
Right.
lot of work into it.
Most
Tonight,
definitely.
here you are. Speaking of your journey, what where right now can we expect to see you again next year in CSM?
So yes, my goal is to go go again into the competition,
Hmm.
but it also depends on quite a few things in a formula that has to make sense, right?
Hmm.
So the formula has to be there. It has to be, and the right after the equal sign, it must say the right answer.
Right.
So we put the formula together, and part of the formula is actually getting the right song.
Hmm.
Because we're not gonna go in for just going in sake. We're gonna go in knowing that the confidence of the song, our confidence level of the song, is finals worthy. Um, and that's very important to always keep in mind as well, to anybody who wants to enter, is to just make sure that you're confident that your product is of high standard and high quality, so
Hmm.
that there's no denying you a spot. You understand? And I believe that we did that this year. Um, but I mean, we can't sleep, and we need to continue working. And we've been working from the day we stepped foot back into the US after Trinidad. I think even before the day after the competition, when we got the results, we started working then. All right, so what's next? What's the next topic? What's the next song? And we started writing already. In the
Hmm.
meantime, while we write, we're working on other music, new music. I have new music coming out, hopefully in under a month, if the producer would send me the music. I have a collab coming out. I have other solo songs coming out. I have new genres that I'm, well, not new genres, but new parts of chutney that I'm dipping my feet into um, this year. And we're just gonna continue working hard and just trying and just trying and just trying and again being the best versions ourselves, doing what we have to do to represent well.
Absolutely. Any collabs that you have coming up with anyone that you like to mention? I know you had recently a good collab with Randy and Anil. I love that.
Yes, so we had the triple threat on
Yes.
Honi Kohoni.
Yeah.
Um so I do have, we are working on a triple threat part 2. Not sure how soon that would come. We may hold off on that for a little bit, but I am working on, if you had remember, prior to triple threat, my collabs with Anil was the Oldie Goldies.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working on Oldie Goldies part 3 right now. We received the music a while back, but we were holding it because there was so much going on in our personal careers and our personal lives. Um, we're getting ready to activate on Oldie Goldie 3, which will be my only other collab that I see myself doing this year. But other than
Okay.
that, it's all solo music. Um, what else? What else we got?
You have shows coming up?
Yes, I have a huge event coming up on March 19th right here in New York City event space, formerly known as Amazura. It's called the
Hmm.
Chutney Explosion, so Chutney Soka Explosion. Ravi B, Ki, Savita Singh, Nival Chetlal, Terry Gadraj, Randy Reckless Ramdin, Kavita Ramki Soon, and a host of DJs and a host of other entertainers as well. So make sure you get your tickets. Just a few more days before this kicks off, and I promise you that this is going to be, if not sold out, almost sold out. because the ticket request up to while I was on this interview, I know you went on to a sponsor break. I was getting text messages about tickets and table reservation. So if you want to get a table reservation, please message me directly. Then after that, I head to Toronto.
Toronto, I see you have
I
that.
have, yeah, the Unforgettable concert, Good Friday, Toronto, which is April 15th. Ki and the band. I see Swappy. I see Jack Soka, and dancers and a host of DJs as well. All brought to you by Perry and his sound crew. Big up to Sanjay Maharaj. Events for this March 19th event.
Mhm.
And then, you know, April 30th, I'm in Schenectady with Omar Dat Maharaj. May 1st, sorry, April 29th, I'm here in Queens. Supposed to be tentatively. More info on that. And then April 30th, I'm in Schenectady with Omar Dat Maharaj. Confirmed. And then we'll go from there after once the date.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
do another show where we can discuss the rest
yeah,
of
yeah,
that
for sure.
happening.
But
Um,
there's a lot. I wanted to
Merchandise.
Yeah, merchandise is there. I love Daru. You could find us on Shopify, at the Music Head store. Just go into Shopify. I'll also post a link again on my page afterwards. Check it out. There's I love Daru merch. There's merch, signature merch by Tony Cuts. And there's some other generic musical T-shirts, different sayings, um, things that describe you, things that describe musicians, just in general as well. Go check it out. I'll post the link. I'll actually give Shamiza as well to post the link when she has some
Yes,
time, so that your viewership can see what the store is all about. And I also wanted to mention a few things, and if you don't mind, I have some sponsors that got me through CSM, and I'd just like to give them a quick shout out, if you don't mind.
sure. Please do.
Um, so first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who stepped up and made my CSM 2022 performance, my grand final performance, a success. Um, it took a lot, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. And this list of people came together, um, unknowingly of each other, and really just supported me unconditionally. So, first, I'd like to say big up to Radicals Hot and Spicy in Brampton, Ontario. If you are in the Brampton area, in the Toronto, the GTA, the greater uh, Toronto area, please, please go check them out. Their food is delicious. And he was one of my sponsors for CSM. Shiva Nanlal. Go ask for Shiva. Tell him Ranjeev sent you, and try this man doubles. Lord, Father, it's probably the best doubles outside of Trinidad that I've tasted. So check him out. Radicals Hot and Spicy, 263 Queen Street East, Brampton, Ontario. All right, so go check him out. Radicals Hot and Spicy. Second of all, I want to say big up to John from Queens. You might have seen him
He was
post his
on earlier.
videos.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, he was. Yeah.
yeah,
Big
he
up
did
to
well.
John from Queens. He stepped up. He reached out to the team. I didn't speak to him initially directly, but he reached out to the team, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna sponsor um something with the CSM. How can I help?" And the team reached out, was like, "Well, we're in the finals," and he was like, "Well, let's do it. I support Ranjeev." And he supported me. Big up to John from Queens. Thank you so much. He supported me financially as well. So big up to him. Thank you for stepping up and just saying, "Hey, let's get this done." So big up to Wendell NYC. He does a lot of events here in Queens. He has a signature rooftop lounge event that he does every Thursday at Moon Rooftop Lounge in Astoria. Check him out. Is a vibe. He was also a great sponsor for us on this Chutney Soca Monarch. I want to big up a gentleman, and I know him by Uncle Deo. I sang for his 60th birthday late last year, and he called me 2 weeks before the CSM and said, "Hey, we spoke prior to that, but he said, 'Hey, this is what I'm gonna do for you. I want to support you. What do you need? How can I help?'" And we had a conversation, and instantly he wrote a check and he sent it over and he said, "Hey, this is for you. Go and represent us well." And I want to say thank you to Uncle Deo. I appreciate you. Um, a lot of people don't know who Uncle Deo is, but
Thank you,
Uncle
Uncle
Deo knows who
Joe.
Uncle Deo is. Thank you, thank you. Um, Big up to Andy Singh and his family out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Big up to Joy Ganesh as well in that team, that Andy and Joy. They supported me. They also stepped up and said, "Hey, listen, hold this, go and represent us well." Big up to Andy. Big up to his whole family. Just it's just pure love and support. Big up to Joy Ganesh as well for supporting. Um, to Heat Caribbean Kitchen and Lounge, Caribbean Kitchen Restaurant and Lounge, right here in Queens on Atlantic Avenue on 100th Street. Go check them out. They have some of the best food in our area. So please check them out. Big up to Sunil and Wendy and that whole team over there. Naomi, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. They also supported me as well. Big up to my good friend Sharaz out in Toronto. Him and his family definitely showed some support, and they did come up as well, and they said, "Hey, go represent us well." So thank you to Sharaz and his family. To Navin as well from Toronto. Big up to Navin. He has a company out here in the States, but he lives in Toronto. Big up to you, brother. He as well wrote a check and he said, "Go represent us well." Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Um, to Sanjay Maharaj from Sanjay Events, thank you for believing in me and being my premier promoter here in Queens, who puts me on the biggest events here in Queens. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you believing in what I was going to do, and I look forward to continuously working with you on all your sold out events because all his events are great and sold out. So I look forward to it. Um, I had an anonymous uh, donation from somebody who wished to stay anonymous. Thank you. You know who you are. I appreciate you. You came through very last minute for us when we thought all else was lost. And thank you to Joe Karim, Shano Karim, to Kayla and Vanessa, who came to Trinidad from to Toronto to be a part of my team. Words can't express how much that means the world to me. Leaving the comfort of your homes in Toronto to come all the way to Trinidad and have a great time, but
Yes.
also support me in my mission in CSM 2022. Um, so that's my list of people that I would like to thank in my in my in my very long list. I would like to thank them. Obviously, I gotta thank my family, my wife, who put up with weeks and
Yeah.
weeks and of stress with this. She's definitely a gem, and I thank you for just being by my side through it all. She actually was there in Trinidad with me. She did my makeup, so
Oh, she did you? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I had a little pimple, right? And
Yeah.
it left like it still have a little black mark here, so she had to cover it up so I don't see it on
She
camera.
covered it
But
up.
don't tell
That's a
anybody that.
major makeup
Don't
right
tell
there.
anybody I told you that. Yeah, don't tell anybody.
Amazing job she did.
To
Randy,
my
I do want to
yeah,
let our viewers know as well, or any sponsor that you mentioned, if they do go out and support those businesses that you mentioned, please mention that Ranjeev sent you or you saw Ranjeev talking about it. That way
sure.
they know that they acknowledge, right? They know that you're putting the word out there. So please, it doesn't take much to say, "Hey, we heard Ranjeev recommended it. We're here to support you,"
Yeah,
and
definitely.
it
Please do that.
also makes them feel that we're appreciative of everything they do every day.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. Please, just don't have to go into detail of where
Yeah,
you heard it and but just like, we heard of you through Ranjiv and we wanted to come check out your spot,
doubles or
your
your
doubles or your
curry.
whatever it is, yeah. Just
Yeah,
have a few drinks at Heat or go check out Wendell's party or whatever the case is. Check them out. Go follow John from Queens, his YouTube channel. Go
yeah.
subscribe.
He's a
He's
huge
always putting up
supporter
in
in the
yeah,
community. He's always there for
yeah,
all the little shows that we have and the artists more importantly.
for sure.
Ranjif, I know you're gonna take us out
Yes.
with you can't leave us without I Love Daru. Uh I'm just going to say my thank you to everyone that's watching
Sure.
us tonight, to all our sponsors. Thank you so much. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. And Ranjeev, you take it over.
Sure. So, real quick before I sing this last song, to my team, Music Movements, Anil Mr. Dunya, Richard Prasad, Kishan Suklal, Vijay Ramdeen, Ray Ramuta, my team down in Trinidad, Ravi Prasad, my security detail, Rick George, Richard Fraser, um, and my transportation, Rick George. To you guys are God sent. You are a blessing, and I look forward to many years of working with you guys. You really, really did whatever was needed to be done to make sure that the trip was a success, everyone was safe, and our show was a success. So to you, my brothers, thank you. And words can't express again. To my parents, to my mom and my dad who's watching right now, to my sons Ved and Veer who's watching, to my other sons Justin and Jace who's upstairs. I love you guys and thank you for the continued support. And without you, I it's pointless. So thank you for being here, and thank you for just standing by my side and taking all the nonsense that I I shoot your way. So I'm trying to find this song here. I don't want to forget anybody, but I'm sure we'll have some more time on our later program.
Definitely.
Let me see. Search. I got it here. Hold on. I think it's right
Good
here.
night to you, Anil. Thank you so much. Shariza Muhammad, Vanita. Vanita's been with us the entire time. Rick George. Good
Rick
night,
George, yeah.
guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys being here.
Yes. Thank you for all of them locking on, man. Because I know they have a busy weekend plan. These guys, Rick George and all these guys, I know they're always busy. Protecting people in Trinidad. So thank you for taking some time off to
Red
hang out with
Sing.
us. Red Sing is out in Minnesota. Big
Yes.
up to him. He's out there. He's one of the premier promoters out in Minnesota. He's got a lot going on. He's brought me to Minnesota for the first time many times.
Annie John, good night to you.
Yes, Annie John. Big up to Annie. My auntie. That's my auntie who lives in Trinidad.
Rahana is joining us from Colombia. Good night to you, Rahana.
Big up, Brianna. How are you? So, all right. Well, I'll take you out.
Yes.
Again, thank you for having me,
Navin
Shameeza.
Singh, good night. My pleasure.
Like somebody else live finish or what? How everybody comes so late?
Everyone's trickling in now. You want to take another half an hour? Let's go.
No, I don't want to hold you up anymore. We're gonna go out with this live arrangement of Daru. We're gonna do like this, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let me make sure.
Ranjeev, Maha, story of a true lover. I love you, but I love her. My girl says she leaving, cause I only drinking. Pack up all she thinks and she leave and gone. My girl says she leaving, cause I only drinking. Pack up all she thinks and she leave and gone. I tell she come back home, cause I can't do this alone. It's not something that I want, you know that I love you, but love me darling too. You know that I love you, but love me darling too. At home, let me sing. I just only do and do, no matter what I can't please you. Oh, you want me pick and choose, and I love me darling. Sing for me. I love you,
Daru.
I love me darling. You know I love you, baby. You're only secondary. But when you're acting crazy, Two shutters make me happy. No, I can't hide it no more. Oh, I'm telling you for sure. You want to be with me and start a family. It has something that I want you know. You know that I love you, but love me darling too. You know that I love you, but love me darling too.
Wow. There.
Outside.
Get your I Love Daru t-shirts, sweaters. Please share
Yes.
that link with me so they can get it. Guys, thank you so much for being here. We are out and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you very
Take
much.
care.
Take care,
Bye.
guys. Be safe.